you've ever wondered where honey comes from, then you better listen to the song. It's the story of honey bees who gather nectar to make honey. Nectar's collected from flowers by bees to make the substance we know as honey. Beekeepers keep bees in hives with rows of frames inside. The bees use these as their home, where they build honeycomb. Nectar's collected from flowers by bees to make the substance we know as honey. Honey's really just honeybee sick, regurgitated from the bee stomach. The bees store the honey in honeycomb cells, where they fan it very well with their wings to circulate air and evaporate water from there. Nectar's collected from flowers by bees to make the substance we know as honey. Spin the comb to get the honey inside and leave the outside wax behind. Nectar's collected from flowers by bees.
Okay, so you can test any honey that you have at home. It's called the honey test to see if it's real or fake. So what you do is you get all the different honeys that you have at home and you pour water over the top and you kind of let that water swirl around. And if nothing happens, it's just a clump. Like this is your regular teddy bear honey that you get from the store that's in the bear. And it is not completely real honey because nothing happens, it just stays the same. And then we took and we made honey slime.
What we did first is we took our honey, we drained off the water from the water test. Then we put in cornstarch until it did not stick to the bowl or to your fingers. And then you kept on mixing it, but it kind of took us a little bit more than one attempt.
And show them the consistency.
So here it is. It's kind of like cloud slime.
And if you add a little bit of oil, it can kind of get it back to more of a slimy type
Yes,
texture.
because we haven't added oil yet.
And put it in here, and then you can take it home.
And there was one more.
And we did this. This was more of a Play-Doh. And we used unfiltered organic honey with the same ingredients, the cornstarch and the vegetable oil, and it turned out more like a Play-Doh than actual slime.
And it's not really much of a Play-Doh either because
It kind of crumbles. So have fun! Okay, what do we have here, Allie?
We have raw honey and
Raw honey and the actual comb. So get up there real close, let them see.
So
but
right
there's
here,
actually the comb.
you can see the actual home, and we think that it's going to be real honey because we've never actually seen honey that has a real comb. So we are going to be pouring it into a bowl and doing the water test with it like we did with all the others.
That's probably good. Oh. With the water.
And if you notice, if she shows you, then you can actually see that some of the comb is in the honey right now.
Pour some water over the top. And swirl it around. That's probably enough water. Swirl it around. And see the hexagon shapes. So if it's pure 100% real honey, the honey has memory and can form its hexagonal shape. And do you see some of the hexagons in there? I do. Oh, do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so that's real, pure, 100% honey.
So this one's going to be great for the slime because everything we've done with the organic did not work at all. It was Tommy and just didn't work. And then that one was a little bit better, but we think this one's gonna be really great because it had all hexagons.
We made honey slime, and now you get to make honey Play-Doh. So, what are the ingredients, ladies?
First, you have to add half a cup of salt.
And you will add 2.5 cups of flour with 1/4 cup later if needed. And then you will add in 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar. You're going to mix the dry ingredients first, and then we'll add in the wet ingredients to that mixture.
2 tablespoons of pure 100% honey. Then you're gonna get 1 tablespoon of your natural vinegar oil.
Vegetable oil. And those
Vegetable.
wet ingredients, make sure that you do those at the end, mixing the dry first. So we will need a spoon, and you would like to stir, oh yes, get the cream of tartar. And then just pour that onto the spoon. And let's put it. Okay. The girls are going to mix up the dry ingredients. The dry ingredients being the flour. What else, girls?
Salt. Cream of
Salt
tartar.
and cream of tartar.
Do you want me to add in the wet ingredients now?
And then it's time to add the wet ingredients. Gently stirring it in, each one at a time. We can add more flour. Said 1/4 of a cup if needed. That's when you start kneading it and you decide this texture feels a little too crumbly, then you can always add in more oil. I mean flour. And oil if it needs more moisture.
So this is very nice Play-Doh, and all the ingredients were in. So now we're just gonna keep on kneading it until it's more Play-Doh consistent, and it smells amazing.
It does, girls.
It smells so good.
Like honey.
Uh-huh.
I really like this Play-Doh. Do you like this better than the slime?
Kind of. It's not as messy as this one.
Do you think kids would enjoy playing with this?
Yes. It's
Awesome.
very fun.
Girls.
But it's pretty messy, and you might want to have an adult take out the boiling water because it's very hot.
Okay. Have fun. Bye. All right, another science experiment coming at you. For Weeman, where does honey come from? What I've got here is a screw at the bottom of this big old jar. Not a jar, a container. And what I'm going to do is put raw honey and even the comb into it, if it'll all go. It could very well not want to come out. If it does, I'm going to give you a closer look at this comb, because that's so cool. All the honeycomb out. It almost looks like we needed another container. This will work. See, the honeycomb came with the honey in the packaging. I would never want to eat that whole, but just the intricacies, I love it. It's so cool. I'm gonna throw that on. That was a sticky mess, and it didn't really belong in here. So now we've got this layer of honey, and we have that screw down there. The screw will actually maybe change colors after a few days. But the next ingredient that I'm going to pour in would be corn syrup. And of course it goes to the bottom first, but after a while it makes its own layer, and it's generally above the honey. So we'll see if that actually happens. And some people choose to put another item in there, in with it. And then the next ingredient I'm going to pour in will be maple syrup. And this also looks maybe like I should have got a whole nother container, but we shall see. Now you're not seeing much there. It went to the bottom. Will it rise to the top? The verdict's out. And then we will add in some more ingredients that I have to go pick up at the store, and we'll see the layering effect happening. Pretty cool, huh? Let's see if it works out. Again, those ingredients. There was a screw at the bottom, or a nail. Then raw honey. Then corn syrup. Then maple syrup. In that order. Let it sit for a little bit. See if the layers start to form. I'm noticing some definite layers forming. I'm gonna come back. Hopefully it's really even made its own layer. We'll see. Okay, so this is gonna be utterly ridiculous. We are going to put milk into this now. Let's see, milk, how much do we add? Let's just go with what we feel. That's probably good. See how it floated down to the bottom and then rose back up to the top? And it might take a while for the rest of that to come up to the top. We shall see. And then we put in dish soap. Well, let's try a different color and see what happens here. It's wanting to sink and then make its way to the top. Slowly. We have water, and I put just a little bit of green food coloring into the water. Whoa, that really did rise. That's wanting to kind of join the milk. Wonder if it will go above the dish soap. We'll see. And then, vegetable oil. Do we want to add any color to the vegetable oil? I don't think so. Let's leave it alone. It's kind of like a storm brewing in here. It doesn't want to rise quite yet to the top. And then, rubbing alcohol. I believe I have some of that in here. We're almost out of space. So we'll just have to see. Let's just see. This is a lot of materials going into this project. And then lastly, your very last thing, which was very hard to find, is lamp oil. And I added just a little bit of red food coloring into the lamp oil. Let's give this a while to sit and then start to see if the density changes and the layers start to form. Okay, we'll check back here. Let's give it an hour and we will check back and see if anything changed.